In this one, build tier list for Season 8 Starwalker. After the mid-season update. Tier list is not about how much damage you can do, but how easy it is to progress with the skills. That being said, with enough playtime you can make almost any build work to some kind of degree. During mid-season update, there was many skills and link rune changes, but none of the skills or link runes were buffed enough to change the tier list in any meaningful way. The skills that were already good, they got a tiny bit better. I have many skill runes on the screen, but not all of those are going to end up in the list. Those which are not, I highly suggest to avoid using for the progression. Before starting, I changed the build tier list a lot. It's a mid-season update, it doesn't have to be that big. I have S tier, S tier single target, that means this skill only does single target damage and has no multi-target at all. S tier investment, every single build requires quite a bit of crafts, but this one requires a specific crafts or specific items to actually be usable. S tier spells, by default it means it requires a lot of specific items and it's a transcendent unique items to have a decent amount of damage that would make the skill or the build really good. A tier buffed, it means it was buffed in the patch notes or it got some kind of different buffs that were not mentioned in the patch notes. And the last one is A tier. This is how the build tier list looks like. This is easier for me and it's gonna be quicker to explain what's going on. Let's start with S tier. Lightning Slash has both single and multi-target damage. You can awaken it to Source or Origin depending on what you need more. Throw Explosive scales nice with area effect, and with the Frenzied Bullet specialization node for the bowguns, has insane amount of damage. Ice Crystal Arrow is gonna stay in S tier for a long time as long as those insane unique boots exist. Crescent Slash is good, has both multi-target and single target. Lightning Vortex has an interesting interaction, decreases the lightning resistance, which increases damage by quite a bit on high level maps. Firebomb Shot has a unique bowgun that increases damage by a lot. Poisoning of Arrows, it's easier to overlap projectiles, that means single target and multi-target is not a problem for this one. Deadly Poison Claw was buffed, not by much, it was S tier before and it's S tier now for sure. Wrathful Rune Knight and Fanblade Sentry represents basically the minions and the sentry builds in general. They were buffed quite a bit and looks like more people are finding those more enjoyable. And I've seen quite a few players pushing so much damage on these. They are getting better, but probably for the new players, it's still gonna be weird to play. Not because they don't scale damage right now, even though they scale it really slow. It's just really weird to play. It's just the interaction and the way they work mechanically in the game, it doesn't feel good. Explosive Slash is good. Unleash Lightning Shot has new gloves, increases damage, good. Earth Blow was nerfed a little bit, by comparison, still has a lot of damage. Combo is good, it was buffed quite a few times in a row and nothing has changed, it was not nerfed. Single target, Ogre Arrow can't do any multi-target. It has insane amount of single target damage. A lot of people do Ogre Arrow for the leaderboards and it's gonna stay that way unless they change the way the skill interacts. Virulent Slash is the same thing. It has a lot of single target damage, but multi-target damage is weird in a sense that it takes quite a bit of time to apply all the pierce count to the enemies and the damage feels slow. You have the damage, but it feels slow. Fire Blow is an interesting one. In order to do single target damage, you need a lot of area effect, and that has to come from a craft and Lacrima. Otherwise, you're not gonna be able to scale. You can get a little bit of area effect on the Zodiac Stones. It requires like very specific items to be good and to do quite a bit of single target damage. For the spells, this is what I've seen people are doing right now and it makes sense. Like Dark Judgment plus Judgment of Light with the Elementalist specialization node does so much damage, but that damage, or most of it, comes from the Elementalist node and not the skills themselves. But it's fine, it works really nice. If you have time and you want to invest that time into spell builds, you can make it work. And if you get the new Transcended Link Rune, you're gonna be hella strong. I didn't. I did Wheel of Fate for the whole 2 months, couldn't drop a single one. Black Plague in here is basically as Whirlwind as a channeling skill that you can link with Dark Judgment or Electric Ball or even Blizzard. However, you can only do that when you already have trillions of damage. It's not gonna work for progression, but you're gonna see a lot of people that run Black Plague and do maps with it. Electric Ball plus Lightning Wave is a new one. Lightning Wave does a lot of damage if you have the unique ring, which keeps the lightning energies. Otherwise, if you don't have the ring, Every single time you press the lightning wave is gonna consume the lightning energies. With the ring, you can do quite a bit of damage, however, it does have the problems. It doesn't have that much multi-target damage, and it's gonna feel a little bit weird to play. Whirlwind Barrage plus Blizzard is a new one. The main reason why people are doing Whirlwind Barrage is because Whirlwind Barrage doesn't have a trigger dampening on the skill tooltip, while Whirlwind has. Another thing is that the bowguns are kinda strong right now, especially if you run Frenzied Bullet specialization mode. You get so much extra damage on top, it makes Blizzard just really strong. You can also do Blizzard with any other skill and do it with the Elementalist Zodiac node, but I've seen this more than Elementalist. I'm keeping this in here. I like this. I even might try to do this before Season 9. This specific build. AT buffed. We have Cross Slash. Has more damage, was buffed. It made it quite a bit better. Electric Shell Shot was buffed more for multi-target damage than a single target. Vine Blade got a really nice buff. Definitely deserves this spot. Quick Slash was buffed a little bit, deserves this slot. Frost Wave, Frost Strike, Fissure, Freeze Arrow, Piercing Arrow, Shield Strike, and Absolute Hammer. Definitely A tier. Just lacks a little bit more damage or a way to scale that damage. This is for the people who read the patch notes and saw some interesting things. So first of all, Lightning Chain. It was buffed heavily, but there is no viable builds to do with a Lightning Chain right now. Toxic Flame was buffed again and again, still not enough damage. And the problem is not that tooltip, the problem is that there is not enough link runes to use to increase the damage for the Toxic Flame. They need to add basically new tags to have more available link runes. Wheel Slash was hella weird. They buffed the strike part, which does absolutely no damage on the Wheel Slash build. There is dot part and there is strike part. You always scale the dot part, because that's how you scale damage on the Wheel Slash. You never scaled the strike part. It was always bad, and the way they buffed it a lot, but it's not enough to make like Wheel Slash instead of dot build into strike build. Flash was the biggest letdown in here. The single target damage is good, multi-target damage is not existent, and that's because the way the skill interacts with the enemies. If you one-shot the enemy, you're not gonna even proc the cross that's supposed to do multi-target damage. And when you proc it, most of the times it doesn't hit anything, as it has to be wider. It's not wide enough to hit any enemies in the path. There was a few more skills and some link runes, but nothing was significant to even talk about. For this one, I'm done. If there is any updates, I'm gonna keep those in the description. If you have any questions, you can ask me on Twitch or leave comment on YouTube. Also, I'm leaving some links to Undecember guide and Undecember builds. Those are meant for the new players. It's gonna help you with the progression a little bit. But for now, bye-bye, GG's, and see you in the next one.